Hi everyone, I'm Sumit, and this is the second video of our AWS series. And in this video, we will study about identity and access management. And in short, it's called IAM roles and IAM policies, and it's used a lot in like AWS cloud. Whenever we work in AWS cloud, we use this service a lot actually. So let's understand what's these identity and access management really are. So what happens is that when we work on an organization, so in an organization we have a lot of developers, we have a lot of teams actually, and we have managers who are managing the teams and all. So in this case, we have to organize the permissions, the identity, and the access of all the levels. Like for the developers, we want to give a specific set of permissions and some specific set of limitations that they can do only these things, and they are responsible for these things only. And for the tester team, we want to give some certain roles, some certain responsibilities. And someone who is managing a team, then he or she need to view what is the going on in in the AWS, what kind of machines are running and what are they costing and all. So managers also need to be in the AWS console. So this service of identity and access management service of AWS solve this problem actually. So in the IAM service, we have something called roles, users, policy, and policies. And I have shown a little diagram about it. This is the IAM service. We have users and like we have groups also. So there is a developer group, there is a DevOps group. For example, some DevOps group needs some certain kind of services to be accessed. Then we will attach the policy of those services to the group, and then we'll attach the users to the DevOps group. Then the users will automatically get the permission of those specific DevOps services, but they will not be able to get the permissions of developer services. Developer services might be different. So in the for the developers, we'll create another group, and in the group we will attach the policies of services, what kind of services this group can access, and in the group we can attach the developers up. And when we attach the user to a group, then the user will automatically get the permission of whatever the group have. So this is the overall structure of this IAM service. So there is a root account also. Whenever we create a fresh AWS account, and then the email that we have used to create that AWS account became the root user actually, and it has the full power. And there is no way to decrease that root power. There is no absolutely no way to decrease the powers and privileges of root account. So whenever we but it is not the good practice to use this root account in any condition. We create a new user, then we create groups for this and then assign the user to that group and these things. So firstly, we for any kind of task we create a new user, and by default whenever we create a new user, there's no permission that user have. That group, the freshly created group can do absolutely nothing actually. We have to give implicit permissions to the user, and we can create roughly around 5,000 accounts, user I mean. And it is a soft limit actually. It is not the hard limit. If your organization grows that much big that you need to create more than 500 account, you can actually request the AWS and then they will exceed the limit. So it is the soft limit of 5,000 users per AWS account. And whenever we create the user, we also create use policies and prefer groups to give the power to the user. And anything in AWS has an ARN. It's called Amazon Resource Name. Actually, whatever you do in AWS, you create a S3 bucket, you create an EC2 instance, or any you access any service. The service has a particular ARN. ARN you can refer to the roll number of a class. In a class, every student have a unique roll number. Using that roll number, we identify that students. So ARN is the roll number. We can also define the regular name, like this is the XYZ name for this services, but the AWS internally identify that service with an ARN. And uh, whenever you develop an application, if you are using a service programmatically, then you need ARN. You can't use regular names. And yeah, let's see how we can create a group. So let's say we have three teams in our organization. One is for admin, one is for developers, and one is for testers. We define policies for admin specific policies, that what can admin can access and what can admin can do. Uh, to be honest, actually, admins can do pretty much anything. But here we can apply limitations, like we can apply limitations for developers, apply limitations for testers, and we can attach policies. Sorry, we can attach policies to the group, and then we can attach permissions to the group, you and then we can like set users to that permission or group. Actually, we can give directly permission to the group user, but it is not considered as a best practices. We should always attach user to a group, not directly to the permission. And in the AWS, we like obviously follow the least privilege possible technique. In this technique, like we don't give any extra permission to any user or any group. Actually, whatever they require, we give only that permissions. So it's called least privilege possible rule. So let's move it to the IAM role. So there is something called IAM role. So I have written in the red line called roles are assumed by users. Actually, it's not BU, it's B by. It's a typo mistake. Roles are assumed by users and application and services. So a role is like a hat. You wear a hat and you become that. It's almost like becoming a president. When you become president, you have a lot of powers for the country specific and for the whatever you want to do. But once you lose the election, you become normal citizens. So roles are like exactly that. You can gain permission throughout the roles, and there is one catch also. If you have a specific role attached, then you will be the user will only be able to perform the role specific tasks. If user has also like attach itself to the group, then the group permission will not work for that user. So let's see what are IAM policies and how we can define them. So we can define the IAM policy in a JSON document structure. It is pretty easy. You can read it. It's just like English. It's just some structured way of representing some data. And yes, it said implicitly denied means everything is denied. You have to explicitly allow any service, any resource want to access any if a user want to access. And of course, we have identity-based and resource-based access. And AWS supports six type of policies. And here are six types of policies. Actually, no one remembers it. Whenever you need to bifurcate what are the policies and what kind of policies we should add, you can always go to the AWS documentation and you can refer these policies.